Hey everyone, Ayana here. We've got my creative friends, and I'm so excited because it's a new year and we're starting it off right. So we may or may not have some people jump in later, but who knows? We're excited just to have this going. So I guess the topic of the day is creative blocks and our creative process, but as you know, we go all over the place. So, yeah, I guess since Chelsea kind of suggested this, even though David and I connected on this, I'm gonna let Chelsea start with her.
Okay. Well, let's see. So for Gotcha Packed, I guess, David, if you don't know what we do, we're a virtual styling service, and we focused, before COVID, we essentially focused on helping people travel, or get packed for their travels, I should say. We, are inspired by different destinations and cultures and stuff, and then we help people get packed and get stuff that's suitable for what they're going to be doing while they're there, and stuff that's stylish and everything. So it's all packaged and outfits delivered to the door. So by saying that, I'm obviously inspired by different cultures, different colors and patterns that you see, and so I do need to do the research on those destinations and kind of get inspiration from what locals wear. So I think that's where the first step starts for me when I'm getting people styled, is doing that research, because I'm such a visual learner. I need to see things, and I can't just come up with stuff off the top of my head. So Pinterest is a huge help. I kind of get inspiration from that, and if I see a look that I like for somebody, I'll kind of take our own little spin off of that. But I think those are the first steps for me, at least. Yeah.
So what do you
Does that answer the question?
Yeah. What do you do when you get blocked, though?
I don't know, man. I need a better outlet. I think journaling really helps me. Just stepping away from the computer, getting some fresh air. I'm a huge nature person, going on a walk, talking it out. I think I get super inspired by talking to other entrepreneurs, seeing them hustle, and hearing their stories and their suggestions. So that helps me a lot too, is just talking to friends. But I think stepping back and journaling about what works, what doesn't, helps me to all kinds of stuff comes out after I do that. Yeah, but getting blocked sucks. It happens a lot.
Yeah, don't I know?
Yeah.
All right, which one of you gentlemen wants to go first?
Go for it, Chris.
Well, I don't know. I feel like my creative process, from the standpoint of trying to find new ideas, I find new ideas random, y'all. This is TMI. I feel like my best ideas have all come in the shower, just by myself.
I was gonna say too.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or
no, actually.
Then I don't know. You'll probably relate to this when I'm standing there.
I thought you were gonna say on the toilet, so I'm glad you didn't go that direction.
No, honestly, that's when I'm on Instagram. Just being real. But so I'll be standing there, and an idea will just kind of hit me. And Leah knows this, because I'll come out of the shower or whatever, and be like, babe, blah 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 blah, and it'll be on a topic, something so random. She'll be like, what? Okay, great, just kind of go, she's very much a action over saying something. She's yeah, go do it. If it's an idea for a reel or a photo shoot or a blog post or something like that, where it's that comes to me. When I get blocked though, kind of like you, Chelsea, I got to step away and do something else. Whether it's physical activity, something mentally stimulating, just stepping away. But I actually love what you said about talking to other entrepreneurs and other creators. Yeah, that really that struck a chord, because I think that always helps the most when you talk things out with other people, get some other ideas, get some fresh perspective. Then all of a sudden you're boom, not even in a block anymore. So no, that definitely that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, David.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for real, the shower, for real.
So real. What is it about it?
But it's like kind of meditative, and I think that's why.
Yeah.
And then, I do the same things. I'll like reach out to some of the people that I like talk to frequently and either talk through the block or talk through what they're working on. But the other thing that I've been trying to do is also like when I get in those situations is sort of, I finally wrote kind of like what my principles and my goals were for the year. So I step back and look at that.
Yeah.
Try to figure out like what am I trying to accomplish? So I kind of backtrack to that part.
Right, like a constant reminder.
It makes it easier to kind of refocus on what it is. And then I'll just I've started to be really, really liberal with taking breaks on like all the creative stuff and the social media stuff and taking the pressure off. So I'll just be like, all right, I'm taking a break. I think it's over.
It's hard, man. That's hard to do.
It's hard, but I think once, I mean, maybe this is a tangent, but I think in my case, like once I stopped looking at Instagram as like the main focus of my business, or like it became easier to take breaks from Instagram and like all the content creation. And also because I have other stuff going on.
I attended this webinar that was like super helpful. It was just about like trying to focus and, productivity and all of that. And he was like, put your phone in a different room, like just like, put on music, whatever you have to do, and just like dedicate like just 30 minutes straight, like of just like deep, productivity. Don't let yourself get distracted by anything else, and then be liberal about giving yourself a little break after that. Because I tend to multitask way too much, and
Right.
I'm a little scatterbrained, so I have to like make a list. That helps a lot too, just to like be able to see myself crossing stuff off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's hard to know where to start.
Yeah, I like block schedule my days, so I like have this like block of like whatever I'm working on in that block, and then like, but it sometimes that backfires because then I'm like, okay, if I don't get it done in this block, then I like stress about it, and then I realize that all my deadlines are mostly self-imposed. So then I just I'm just gonna take a break. So breaks.
It's bittersweet to be your own boss.
Yeah, that part is nice. Not gonna lie.
David, you remind me of a really, really good friend of mine in just how matter-of-factly you address, that's a hard realization that you come to, and like you just address it very matter-of-factly. You remind me of one of my best friends in the world, I swear. It was uncanny there for a second. It was weird.
It's taken a lot of work for me to approach it that way.
Yeah.
To I get to a place where I can just be like, this is fine.
This is fun.
Yeah. It's starting to change. Like now that I'm like taking on clients in a different way, it's starting to change a little bit, but because I can't just like put off their stuff. But
David, what do you do again? Sorry.
So I am like first and foremost a content creator / influencer, but most recently I've been taking on clients for like social media management and consulting. So like now I've started to like strategize and manage other people's content basically and help them with their marketing goals. So
nice.
Yeah. So it's like different when I like, well, can't shove that off.
Yeah. So hard.
We know. That's when you own your own business. Of course, it's important to take breaks, but I'm also like David, where I'm like, I've gotten better about it, but if I don't get to something, sometimes I stress about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now I move it down to tomorrow, and I'm trying to get to this point where procrastination is not a thing. Like, you're thinking about it, just do it. But like Chelsea said, take that time, just focus. So I had hopped on FocusMate for a little bit, and you basically collaborate with random people off this calendar for 50 minutes.
I think that's what, sorry, that's
it's
what
fine.
they were talking about.
That's interesting.
Yeah, for 50 minutes, and you tell each other your goals, what you want to do in that 50 minutes, and then after it's done, either you go on with the rest of your day, or if you've scheduled another FocusMate, you do that. So every now and then I'll do that.
So it's almost like a virtual study group or something like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. The only problem I do have is sometimes having my phone near me, but I have two now. So I have a business phone and my personal phone because I don't use my phone for any random number I don't know. So,
Smart.
That is cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I gotta put the phone away.
No, I was gonna say, so because you mentioned that like procrastination piece, but I was talking to my coach last week, and yeah, I think like there's always because like I was complaining to her about like, am I just lazy or like what's going on? And they're like, her perspective is like, but there's not actually lazy people. It's just like there's something behind whatever's keeping you from accomplishing what you're trying to do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know, like this past week, I basically kept putting off filming a YouTube video for like 3 days. Like I just like kept being like, I'm just gonna move it to tomorrow. I'm gonna move it like one more time. And I was like trying to figure out why it wasn't clicking. And it was like, eventually Saturday or Sunday, I like finally like planned it and got on it, but like it's because like I wasn't excited about. I just like haven't been excited about the platform in a while, and like a bunch of other stuff. But like so, then I went and took a shower and like thought through it, and so like
works every time.
I know, right? It's the problem.
Undefeated.
The problem is like I was in like I thought of it and then I was like still in the shower. I was like, okay, I have to remember everything I just thought.
That's the problem. That is always you be sitting there and be like, that's a great idea.
You need like a waterproof recorder in the shower.
Yeah.
Okay. But as far as my creative process goes, well, I'm about to get back into needing to sketch again. So the other day I was like, I need to sketch. I need to get something done. I'm working on this collaboration. Can't let that door close that had open. But when you're not in the zone, you're just not in the zone. So for me, for my blocks, most of my blocks come because I'm on business brain, not creative brain. So you're like, well, how can I get into that mode where stepping away, going on a hike, going outside helps, reading something helps, watching a movie. Most of the time, I just have to give myself enough space and not put the pressure on doing that creative thing, whether it's sketching or, I don't know, finding the inspiration for the next collection. So, or even creating content for myself.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what inspired your like first collection? Was it like nature or what? I mean, like, how did you get the lines and the colors and things like that?
So my process for a collection usually starts off with like maybe a surface level thing, but also a deeper level connotation. So I was thinking of the desert. I was out in the desert. I was like, okay, it's really cool, but there are plants there that flourish and thrive, and they've adapted to the environment that they're in. So taking a man and putting him in that environment or representing him as that seed or that plant that has been planted in his environment and being able to flourish and thrive in that environment. So that's how I came up with it, and came up with the color scheme kind of based off of the vegetation.
Wow, that's so cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, so that's where first collection came from. Second collection is ink and smoke. So taking, the basic of like squid ink, octopus ink, and smoke. Both have different connotations of hiding or mystery or like a warning of some kind. So taking those in the densities and the lightnesses of each, and kind of creating the colors based off of that. But also, again, coming back to the deeper side, as people, we try to hide our deeper aspects of ourselves or something that we're not comfortable in showing. So how can we show that part of ourselves even within this collection?
Oh my God, I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. So
your creative
deep.
process is way more elaborate than mine. Wow, that is amazing.
Deep. It's
On
like,
the clothes that you
I'm so impressed.
I try to have a story to go along with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
So this is what happens every time, right? I get this
What part of your job would you say excites you the most? Like, what part of your process is like easy for you every time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'll go. For me, like I'm always, at least the photo editing part is always fun. Because like at least their content editing, I guess, is always fun because it's like, oh, the final product. And then like in client work, it's like getting their reaction to sort of what they wanted out of it is always the best.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's that like sort of finishing product when it goes from like idea to fruition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want me to go? You want me to go? You want me to go?
Go, Chris.
My answer would be twofold. In general, the people, just generally speaking, I love working with people. I love meeting people, hearing their stories, getting to know them, discovering what they like, what they don't like in their style, how they like to dress, what their motivations are, and specifically like kind of like what you're talking about, David, with when you go from like an idea to seeing it come to fruition. There's something very, like, one of my favorite moments is when a dude will step out of the fitting room and either he's by himself or he's with his wife or he's with his, family or something, or friends, and having that moment where they come out and they're in something totally different and it looks awesome on them, and it's something that you help put together with, like with your expertise or with whatever, with their help, and then they come out of the fitting room and they're like, they know they look good, and everybody, and it's like the most satisfying feeling, man. Just like see that transformation when a lot of times guys come in unsure of themselves, unsure of what they're there for, and then after working with them, they step out and it's like boom, they feel like $1 million. That's probably my favorite specific part about the job. But I love being around people. So honestly, anytime I get to talk to people and interact with them is great. That's why quarantine sucked.
Yeah, for real.
Yes, I will second that. I started just with COVID, like, and transitioning and just kind of pivoting, whatever. Started doing like in-person styling services for people that are local and mostly, friends or friends of friends. And we would just like have wine and cheese parties, and they would come over and like I would just have everything that I had picked out for them set out. And like, yeah, seeing them, seeing it on them, because obviously it's all e-commerce virtual. It's like I'm never there for them to see like the selections on, but it was so fun. It was so satisfying. I like to see how good they felt in it, to like get their feedback in person. That was really cool. So maybe something I might continue doing. Just
you should,
yeah,
absolutely.
I agree. Do that.
Yeah, it works really well.
Joy.
And it's like for me to be there and help them, roll up their jeans or like tuck, French tuck, whatever, like the little styling like tidbits that kind of take it to the next level. It's like makes it a lot easier for me to guide them and give them a second opinion or whatever. It helps.
I'll say one of my favorite things, kind of piggybacking off that, let's see if you agree with me, is when your clients then get excited in the future. Like my dad, for example, like when we first started working on his style, when I started at Rhodes 4 years ago now, sheesh. Like he liked to look nice. He liked to dress well, but it was like when we started putting together outfits for him on a daily basis, and he would like send me pictures of like, what do you think about this pocket square? What do you think about this tie? And like we would hang out, and he would ask me like, what do you think about this? And what do you think about what he's wearing? Like I could see that passion. Like he was like just flipping a switch of like, oh, all of a sudden he's starting to recognize this and like see how much fun it is. Like,
totally.
That's the coolest thing, man.
Shopping, it's so cool. I think shopping can be really like daunting for people, and it can be, maybe they don't feel like good about themselves or whatever the case is. Like they don't even know where to start picking stuff out, and you turn it into like a really positive experience that is exciting. Like, yeah, seeing that transformation is awesome.
Yeah.
Totally.
I love it, guys. But no, like I totally agree. Mostly with the seeing your product. As soon as like you can conceptualize it, you can sketch it, you can do whatever, but even even when I was designing and actually making everything and producing it myself, the final product and then putting it on somebody, I'm like, dang, I did that.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
literal, it's that creation, you know, like that feeling like I created that. I started with an idea and now it's physically on someone based off what I, like, yeah, that's dope. Like, that's got to be the most powerful feeling.
Yeah, I mean, even now going through manufacturing, like when I get the first sample in, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is disappointing. But for the most part, I'm like, you got it. You got it.
So
Yeah.
It's just that it's like a swelling in your chest. It's amazing. And
Yeah.
like
When all the inventory comes in, it's so exciting. And then I think for me, it's the photo shoots. Like, yeah, same thing. It's like you can kind of conceptualize as much as possible, but a lot of times, like when I'm ordering stuff in, it's hard to know how it feels or like what, you know, what it actually looks like. And so getting it all together and getting the outfits all together is like so fun for me. That's like the best part. I'm like, oh my God, I get so excited all over again. Like, this is gonna look so good. You know, yeah, that's the best part for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. What else is awesome or that I enjoy the most?
What else is awesome? I love
You do
that.
so much in a day that it's like, sometimes you forget to appreciate the little stuff. So
Mm-hmm.